What's going on, guys? I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. If you're a returning subscriber, as always, guys, welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. Guys, I just seen this story on the internet, and it's baffling to me that there are a lot of people who are up in age that don't have no common sense at all. And there are a lot of people out here with lengthy criminal records that just can't get out of their own way or get themselves right, basically, what I'm saying. Such is the case of this story right here, but this one ends in tragedy. This man right here is Kenneth Farler III, age 38, out of Dayton, Ohio. Shout out Dayton, Ohio, you know what I'm saying? And this guy's a douchebag. This guy right here has a lengthy criminal history of dealing with drugs, selling drugs, so on and so forth. And this guy has just been arrested, I think, on Monday. He was indicted by Ohio grand jury in a connection of the fatal shooting of his 15-year-old daughter, Kendra Farler, on April 14th. Ladies and gentlemen, this dude right here, after he did this, I don't know if he was playing around him with a gun or not, but he was pointing the gun at his daughter. She was begging him to stop. Somehow the gun went off. She lost her life. Not only what he did was messed up, what he did after was even worse, in my opinion. He tried to blame it on his nonverbal, autistic stepson. Here's the story. Check it out.
A Dayton 24/7 Now investigation into the deadly shooting of a 15-year-old girl.
Dayton police say Kenneth Farler III killed his own daughter, then tried to blame it all on his nonverbal stepson. Farler has an extensive criminal history and in fact was put on probation 3 weeks before his daughter's death. Lydia Bice has been digging into this, uncovered some shocking information out of this. We understand that despite being on probation, police and the probation office had no idea where he was.
Yeah, that's right. And it's hard to believe, but Montgomery County Common Pleas Court says not only was Farler lying about where he was living, but failed to report to his probation officer as required. In fact, a warrant was issued for his arrest just 4 days before his daughter was killed.
With his history, he should have been in jail.
Kenneth Farler III was on probation for cocaine trafficking at the time of his daughter's death. Kendra Farler was shot and killed on April 14th while visiting her father. Kenneth Farler was a convicted felon, arrested 40 times in 20 years. Can you explain why he shouldn't have had firearms to begin with?
He should not have firearms. That's the craziest thing. As long as he's out, he really should not have been out. But as long as he is out, he's going to, he can get access to things like that. I mean, you can buy firearms on the streets. You can buy firearms, pretty much anywhere illegally.
Dayton police say this shooting was not an accident, and the victim was begging her father to stop pointing the gun at her. I requested information about his case from the Montgomery County Common Pleas Court, who oversees probation. They told me in this email that they didn't know where Farler was living because he lied on his address verification form. The court says they didn't find out he wasn't where he was supposed to be until he didn't show up to a meeting with his probation officer. Now, Farler was on probation for trafficking cocaine, but according to the probation department, he didn't show up to his probation meetings and lied about where he was living. A warrant was issued for his arrest after they couldn't track him down. His daughter was killed 4 days later. Is there anything else the probation department could have done prior to releasing him to monitor his whereabouts?
Every time a probationer comes into the office, the first thing they have to do is update their address, show them where they're living, and provide proof of that. And with technology today, it's very easy to verify a lot of that information.
What about an ankle monitoring or a house visit before he was supposed to meet with his probation officer?
So I don't think. Having worked in probation in my career, I don't think he would have qualified. He should not have qualified for an ankle monitor. He should have, it would have been incarceration.
In this statement from Montgomery County Common Pleas Court, you can see that Farler was scheduled for a meeting with his probation officer on April 2nd, but failed to appear. They conducted a home visit to the Rockdale court address after not being able to reach him over the phone. On April 10th, an arrest warrant was issued, and 4 days later, his daughter was dead. Now, I did ask the courts today if they had considered electronic monitoring when he was put on probation, and whether any policies will change moving forward in light of what happened, but I'm still waiting to hear back. Farler has been charged with involuntary manslaughter, reckless homicide, child endangerment, among other gun charges. Now, he was in court today, and if released on bond, his conditions of bail would be electronic monitoring.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's the story of what happened to Kenneth Paul Farler III from Dayton, Ohio. This jughead piece of shit need to be shown the bottom of the ocean, in my opinion. But I mean, the justice system has them, so they're going to do what they do. Probably let him out again. This motherfucker was locked up 40 times in 20 years. He should have never been out. Didn't even go to his probation. Didn't even show up to probation. Fuck it. Lied about his place, where he lived, so on and so forth. This guy is a constant F up. Said he was playing, said he pointed the shotgun at his 15-year-old daughter, right? And shot her in the chest. How you playing around with a shotgun and it goes off? Why would you be playing around with a gun with your daughter over there anyway? Like they said, this being a tragedy is an understatement. You try to blame it on a nonverbal stepson that was there. Now it says right here, it says he was indicted on multiple counts, including involuntary manslaughter, reckless homicide, and endangering children and having weapons while under disability. I don't know what that means. But all in all, this guy right here was out of control. You have a daughter. She's 15. No matter what you're doing in the world, when they in your presence, you could at least put on a face of a father, at least. You got guns all out. Not everybody go with that goofy stuff you with. She's 15 years old. He been locked up 40 times in 20 years. So average that about 2 times a year. Now we just being hypothetical. 2 times a year for the past 20 years. So when she was 5 years old, from the time from 5 years old to 15 years old, from the time she was born to when she was 15 years old, if it's 2 times a year, we're saying he got locked up. You've been locked up 30 times since your daughter was born. Where's your sense of urgency to making sure she don't fall down the same path as you? Your chance to make something good out of your miserable life by being a good dad and just making sure she's safe and not getting in trouble to where it can take you away from one of your most important positions in life, her father, where she would need you. She went over the house to be with her dad. She went over there to be with her dad. Just got out, want to be with her father. And it cost her a damn life. Make it make sense. Says both the father and Kendra's stepfather told police she had been shot by the sibling, but those statements proved to be false. Think about that. For some reason, hear me out on this. Tell me if y'all agree with this or disagree. It's messed up how people that are autistic, that can't speak, be getting blamed for stuff. And I'm sure this been going on for a while. Because when people have no type of respect for themselves or respect for anybody else or no shame within them, they'll do and say some of the craziest stuff. They'll blame it on somebody that can't speak. Or they'll blame it on, like they'll do something to somebody that can't speak. How many videos have you seen me do in other YouTubers and other news articles that you see where people violate people that can't speak or can't move, abuse them, say they did something that they didn't because they can't speak to defend themselves? This man shot his own daughter. And you couldn't even stand up as a man and say, hey, I didn't mean to. I messed up. Your daughter's gone. She came over there to see you, and you still was a bitch about it. and gonna blame it on somebody else. He ain't never touched the gun before. All of a sudden now he decided to pick up the gun and shoot somebody. Come on, man. Come on, this is a tragedy. I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Imagine how the mom feel. Her going over there. The mom probably know how this guy is and what he's about. Goofy shit. She'd probably be biting her nails every time she did make a visit to see her father. But at age 15, you can't tell a kid no when they have love for somebody and they're trying to build something with them from lost time, from them being a fuck up in life. Too bad it cost her hers. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.